Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Evidence. What this Marine mom said Obama did to families of fallen soldiers proves Trump was right. When President Trump said he was told that President Obama didn't often call the families of fallen soldiers, he was instantly attacked. The liberal media blasted President Trump as a liar and claimed that Obama always called the families of deceased service members. As usual, the liberal media is wrong and Trump is right. Not only did Obama not call the families of many military men and women, he even went out of his way to disrespect them. After 5 service members were killed in Chattanooga, Tennessee by jihadi gunman Mohammed Youssef Abdulazeez, former President Obama didn't call any of their families. Cathy Wells, the mother of murdered Marine Skip Wells, went on Hannity to tell her story. Cathy told Sean she has not received a call from President Obama. In another case, Obama took his disrespect for Gold Star families a step further and refused to honor the requests from the families of 30 soldiers who were killed in action. Karen Vaughn, mother of Aaron Vaughn, a Navy SEAL who was killed in Afghanistan, told CNN. When my son was killed, he was killed in the largest loss of life in the history of naval special warfare, and we had 30 families at Dover Air Base waiting for our son's bodies to be returned from Afghanistan. What we experienced there was, the families unanimously asked Barack Obama to not bring any media, to not make this a media event, that he was welcome to be with us but no media. And he showed up with cameras, and the next day our pictures or his picture saluting the caskets of our boys was plastered over every outlet in America. These are just a few of many cases when former President Obama ignored, offended or even lied to Gold Star families. See Benghazi. There is a reason why a majority of military members disapproved of Obama. He constantly treated our troops like garbage. Thank God those days are over and our troops finally have a commander-in-chief who respects them. Moments ago, Melania Trump just begged every American to do this one simple thing. First Lady Melania Trump has issued a call to every American to help with hurricane relief efforts in a new public service announcement put out by the White House. We need to come together in compassion and love to help those that have been tragically affected by the hurricane. The tragedies have ended, but people in those communities need help. The President and I have witnessed firsthand the compassion and commitment of Americans as friends, neighbors, and strangers continue to volunteer time and money to help one another following the recent hurricanes, Trump says in the video. The First Lady's message comes just after Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the mainland United States were battered by multiple hurricanes. The President has been criticized over the relief efforts in Puerto Rico. Share this with 3 friends and remind them that our neighbors in Texas, Florida, and Louisiana still need our help. Trump just snuck through something even bigger than Keystone Oil Pipeline and no one's noticed. Once again, Trump is busy getting the business of our great country done, while the media obsesses over finding ways to discredit him. This time, our president approved an oil sand pipeline expansion, that will move oil sand across the Canadian border. All while the media was looking the other way. But, boy, when they find out. According to Alberta Energy, oil sand is a naturally occurring mixture of sand, clay or other minerals, water and bitumen, which is a heavy and extremely viscous oil that must be treated before it can be used by refineries to produce usable fuels such as gasoline and diesel. They also say that Alberta's oil sands have been described by Time magazine as Canada's greatest buried energy treasure. The pipeline expansion Trump approved, to access more of this energy treasure, is Enbridge Energy's Line 67. It will carry more oil than the Keystone Pipeline, which environmentalists oppose. Of course, they oppose Line 67 as well. But, as that video describes, they're careful and concerned with the environment, less land disturbance, setting aside land for recreation, etc., unlike what the libs and environmentalists would have you believe. I love how Trump got this done without anyone noticing, don't you? Could that be a part of his strategy? Whatever it is, if you like it, get this shared to show that our president is getting things done and comment #OilSense. T The Daily Caller and The Hill. When Bannon called for war against GOP, Trump did something stunning. President Trump's former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon gave a speech at the Values Voter Summit on Saturday in which he condemned establishment Republican politicians like Senator Mitch McConnell for working against President Trump, saying, "It's not my war, this is our war and y'all didn't start it, the establishment started it," Bannon said. He also said, "Right now, it's a season of war against a GOP establishment." These are strong words, and when President Trump was asked about them on Monday, he gave a surprising response that should make all Americans proud. "Steve is very committed. He's a friend of mine and he's very committed to getting things passed. I mean, look, despite what the press writes, I have great relationships with actually many senators, but in particular with most Republican senators. But we're not getting the job done. And I'm not going to blame myself. I'll be honest. They are not getting the job done." He continued. "And I can understand where Steve Bannon is coming from, and I can understand, to be honest with you, John, I can understand where a lot of people are coming from, because I'm not happy about it and a lot of people aren't happy about it. We need tax cuts. We need health care." Here's the genius of these remarks. President Trump is obviously disappointed in the GOP establishment leaders, who, after railing against Obamacare for years, utterly failed to find a replacement when they controlled both the legislative and executive branches. That being said, the president is a negotiator, and he understands the importance of getting people on his side so that he can work with them to make something great. He gets where Bannon is coming from, but Bannon is not the one who has to make deals, and if the president went full nuclear on his own party, nothing would ever get done. The president's response is stunning in how measuredness and diplomacy, proving once again what a great leader he is and how hard he's trying to get the policies he promised through the government. Real Clear Politics. Betrayed John McCain just got on stage and did something unforgivable to Trump. Everyone's favorite Reno John McCain just can't resist taking shots at President Trump. McCain was awarded the Liberty Medal by the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia on Monday, and decided to take a swipe at the president and his America First policies in a speech shortly afterward. Although McCain did not name President Trump specifically, he crafted his words in such a way that there could be no doubt as to who he was talking about. Here's what he said, in part. "To fear the world we have organized and led for 3/4 of a century, to abandon the ideals we have advanced around the globe, to refuse the obligations of international leadership and our duty to remain the last best hope of Earth for the sake of some half-baked, spurious nationalism cooked up by people who would rather find scapegoats than solve problems is as unpatriotic as an attachment to any other tired dogma of the past that Americans consign to the ash heap of history." McCain is subtly digging at the president's focus on America First, a part of which is his withdrawal from international agreements such as the Paris Accords and his criticism of international bodies such as NATO and the UN. Criticizing international bodies is not refusing international leadership. America alone cannot do and pay for everything. Asking our allies in NATO and the UN to help and fulfill their own obligations towards promoting world peace is hardly spurious nationalism. Neither is protecting our borders or revising unfair trade deals. The kind of sideways criticism of the president in this speech is not helpful, necessary, or accurate. McCain might have been a fine senator once and served our country with distinction, but if he can only criticize, it's time for him to step aside. Medium. So wrong. When woman tries to sing national anthem on Delta flight, she's told something sickening. Dr. Pamela Guidry, a Georgia physician, planned to honor a fallen soldier by singing the U.S. national anthem aboard a Delta Airlines plane carrying the soldier's casket. Guidry, along with several other passengers, wanted to sing the anthem while an honor guard escorted the casket off the plane. But when the passengers started to sing, they were quickly silenced by a flight attendant who told them to stay quiet in their seats. The flight attendant told her that singing the Star-Spangled Banner would make passengers from other countries uncomfortable. "I couldn't put up with that," Guidry told the Associated Press in an interview Monday. "I wouldn't be offended if I was in their country." Guidry said she kept quiet until she was off the plane. Then she found an unoccupied stretch of the airport terminal where she took out her cell phone and self-recorded a 6-minute, 30-second video that she posted on Facebook. The video immediately went viral and now has over 1 million shares. "The chief flight attendant came back to my seat and she kneeled down and she said, 'It is against company policy to do what you're doing,'" Guidry said in the video. "And I said, 'The national anthem. And there's a soldier on board?' And she said, 'Yes, you cannot sing the national anthem. It is against company policy.'" In her video, Guidry expressed serious regret for her decision to not speak up. "I just did the most uncourageous thing in my life today," she said. Guidry didn't expect to attract this kind of attention for her video, but she is glad to spark this conversation. "If it instigates a spiritual and patriotic feeling in this country, I'm thrilled,"